Hello everybody, welcome back to another video with Lim Reviews. Now, time flies and it has been slightly more than a year since the last Redmi Note 11 series was launched. So today, what we have here is the brand new Redmi Note 12 series, and I'm very fortunate to actually have 3 devices here today to share with you guys. So what I have here is the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus 5G. I also have the Redmi Note 12 5G, and last but not least, the Redmi Note 12 4G. So what we're going to do in today's video is we're going to go over a couple of key features of these devices, and we're going to find out which device is the best device for you to choose. Now, before we begin this video, I have to highlight something here, and that is Redmi has always been striving to provide their users with the kind of features that people really want. So in this case, the 3 devices that I have here all have something in common. Number 1, they all have 120Hz AMOLED displays, which is fantastic. Number 2, they all come with at least 8GB of RAM. And last but not least, number 3, they all come with the headphone jack. So those are the key things that I want to share with you before we start this video. Redmi is taking care of their people by giving them what they want. Now with that said, let's jump over to the first device here and let's talk about the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus 5G. Now this device here is a very special device because it comes with a ton of cool features at a very affordable price point. This device is retailing in Malaysia for RM1599, and with that you do get 8GB of RAM and 256GB of internal memory. Now the key feature of this particular device is actually catered to those who really loves mobile photography. And with that, there's actually a 200MP main sensor at the back, and it's the first 200MP to exist on any Redmi Note series, so that's definitely a first here. Now based on a couple of testing, I noticed that this 200MP main sensor is not there just to be like a marketing gimmick or anything like that. They actually capture a lot of detail. So say for example, you take a photo at 200MP and you actually check it out. When you zoom in further, you will notice that you have almost lossless kind of zoom, and there's just a lot of detail that you can see at those objects that are very far away. So I think this sensor is definitely living up to its reputation by not only being able to capture a lot of detail, it is also able to capture pictures with very good saturation levels. They look natural and not overexposed or anything like that. So it's a great sensor there. Now other than that, the 200MP sensor also comes with OIS built in. That means that it has image stabilization, and if you're the kind of person who's going to be taking a lot of videos, these days almost everyone take a ton of videos, so you're really going to appreciate the OIS on this particular device. Alright, so flipping the device to the front, this is where we can see we do have here the 120Hz Flow AMOLED display, and with the 120Hz, naturally everything is going to be buttery smooth. The contrast levels, the deep blacks and the saturation levels are all great here on the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus 5G. That makes a viewing experience that is very pleasant. Alright, so other than that, there's also a first here for a Redmi Note device, and that is the 120W HyperCharge charging system. Now this is actually crazy fast, and the best part here is that you do get the 120W gun charger in the box, and it can charge the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus 5G from 0 to 100% in under 20 minutes, guys. To be specific, that's 19 minutes, and it's crazy fast. So whenever you're out and about doing your stuff, you're running out of juice, you don't have to worry about charging your phone because you just need to plug that in and you'll be up to speed in no time. So that's pretty cool there in terms of the charging speeds. Now other than that, just in terms of the processing power, what you have here is the Dimensity 1080, which is an upgrade from last year's 920, and playing games was actually very smooth on this device. Now last but not least, there's also something that I noticed as soon as I unboxed the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus 5G, and that is that it's super premium. This has got to be the most premium or most flagship feeling device from any Redmi Note series to date. You have here this sort of like glass back panel, is curved on the back as well, and the fact that this entirely white device here looks super minimalist is something that I really appreciate a lot. Other than that, you have these nice silver frames that goes all around, and there's also a slight heft to it, so you can see that Redmi is really giving you the best build materials here on this particular device. So that basically sums up the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus 5G. Alright, so let's move on and check out the next device here, and that is the Redmi Note 12 5G. Now this device is a super lightweight device, but it also contains a couple of cool features for those out there who doesn't have a lot of budget. I would say that if your budget is approximately 1,000 ringgit and you're looking for a great 5G phone, Well, this device here is retailing in Malaysia for RM1099. It comes with 8GB of RAM, 256GB of internal memory, and let's check out what kind of cool features we have on this device. Now, first and foremost, we're going to talk a bit about the display at the front. We again have that 120Hz AMOLED display that I showed you guys earlier on. It is very smooth, and I definitely appreciate an AMOLED display of high refresh rate on a device at this price point. Other than that, in terms of the cameras at the back, you do have a triple camera setup that is being led by a 48MP main sensor. Again, this camera sensor is able to capture pictures that are great for this price point. I'm going to throw up a couple of samples here so you can take a look for them yourself. But essentially, at this price point, the 48MP definitely is sufficient. Now, moving on in terms of the processing power, we do get the Snapdragon 4 Gen 1 over here, which is a new processor to actually enter our Malaysian markets. We have not seen this processor on any other phone. Again, because it is a Snapdragon processor, most of your games will be supported in higher graphic levels. Now, other than that, it's also a pretty efficient processor here. That means, you will have good battery life. And if you do need to charge up your phone, it comes with that 33W fast charging with the charger also in the box. So that pretty much sums up this particular device. Again, like I said, if your budget is approximately 1,000 ringgit or so, and you just want like large storage, 5G, well, the Redmi 12 5G is something that you should definitely check out. Alright, so let's move on to the final phone here, which is the baby of today's series, which is the Redmi Note 12 4G. Now, this device is also a very interesting one. It is retailing in Malaysia for just RM799. With that, you do get 8GB of RAM as well and 128GB of internal memory. Now, I believe this device is perfect for those of you guys out there who are on an extremely tight budget. You don't really care about 5G, but you still appreciate a high refresh rate AMOLED display and a decent package to go with it. So let's find out a bit more about this Redmi Note 12 4G. Well, first things first, we do have that AMOLED display, that 120Hz AMOLED display at the front. It is a dot display at the top. That means the notch is not the teardrop notch that you see on other phones that cost twice as much. Other than that, you also have a pretty efficient processor in here. This is being run by the Snapdragon 685. And if you are into gaming, you would again appreciate that Snapdragon processor here because you should be able to carry out some light gaming on this device. Now, moving on to the cameras at the back, we do have a triple camera setup here that is being led by the 50MP main sensor and an ultra-wide that is 8MP. So pictures taken on this device, again, I'm going to show you some samples here. You're able to take a bit of casual shooting here and there, but having said that, the cameras here are good enough for sharing on your social media. Now, last but not least, it also comes with a 5000 mAh battery and that 33W fast charge. But I want to talk a bit about what I really love here, and that is actually the design. Now, this design is actually a flat design. That means you have flat back, you have a flat frame, and you can actually stand the phone on your desk. So I'm really into this kind of flat design all around, and I think it's a very solid phone. Again, for RM799, you can't really find something made as good as this. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for today's video. Just a very quick sum up. Again, the Redmi Note 12 Pro Plus 5G is for those who are expecting the best in a mid-range phone. Awesome build quality, 200MP main sensor, a fluid 120Hz Flow AMOLED panel. You also get that HyperCharge 120W charging. So that's all you can get here. And if you are someone whose budget is approximately 1,000 ringgit but you still want 5G, you should check out the Redmi Note 12 5G. Last but not least, if you don't care about 5G, you're just looking for a budget phone for RM799 only, this is a very decent budget phone that you can get today. Anyways, a couple of pre-order information. The device is going to be available for pre-order starting from 6th to 13th of April, and the official sales day starts on the 14th. There's going to be a lot of sales and freebies going on, so I'll put in more information down at the link in the description below. If you have any further questions, feel free to drop a comment down below as well. Thank you again for watching today's video all the way to the end. Don't forget to drop a like, sub to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Stay safe everybody. Bye.